action. Hi, my name is Erica Logan, and today I will be talking about RFID chip implantation. RFID technology is fairly new to most of us, most of everybody who's just walking around and not really paying attention to the things that's going on around us. But that doesn't change the fact that it is here, and it is a very intricate part of our everyday lives. The truth is, RFID technology has been around for many years, and it has a history of many uses. And because of its history of uses and its capabilities, there are concerns on where RFID technology could lead to. Charles Smith of Mesa State College identified RFID as radio frequency identification. So right there, that word identification lets you know that it has to do with tracking individuals and letting you know where and who anybody is, as long as they have that identification chip under their skin. In researching his journal, I was able to uncover a lot of things about this technology, its uses, and its potential use, possibly implanting humans with this microchip device. Let's start by looking at the origin of RFID, its uses in the healthcare industry, and also privacy issues and legal issues concerning RFID technology. So let's start by looking when RFID technology first came about. It began in World War II, where it was used as a means to identify friendly aircraft. And also, if the enemy was returning some of our aircraft, we'd be able to know whether or not it was ours or not. We'd be able to identify it. So back then, it was many attempts in the 1960s by early pioneers to try to advance this RFID technology and to see what it's capable of, and to see what other kind of uses that it was able to do. So microchips began in the 1970s. There were two men named Kriofsky and Kaplan. Well, they filed a patent that it was a system that had two separate coils and that would come together. And in 1979, Beagle filed a patent where the two coils would join together and would make for a smaller implant. One would be for to receive power, and the other would be to send a signal. And so when he filed a patent, put the two together, it made for a smaller microchip to be able to implant into anything that was for sale. So micro tags began in the 1980s, where there was researchers and government agencies and universities that did different things to try to improve this technology in order that it'd be able to send signals farther. It would be cheaper to make and much smaller in size to be used in just about anything, especially when it's dealing with the sales of items. And from there, the first industry to use these tags was the agricultural industry. The agriculture industry used it to put it on their cattle, and that was a way to track their cattle and to make sure that they would know where they were at all times, and also to preserve their hide, because they would like to use every part of that cow. So, and also to make sure that they wouldn't get the neighbor's cattle, or just it happened to get lost, they would be able to find it. The next industry that was using it goes from animals, and it went to the railroad industry. And the railroad industry used it to put it on their box cars in order to replace the barcode. And from the railroad industry, then there came automatic payments. Of course, we know that now when you get debits and transactions and all that, you're using your smart cards. All of that is done with radio frequency identification. Now, after advancement of RFID, it just exploded on the scene and became just much more technological. Then there were different ways that they wanted to include this type of technology in the healthcare industry. So let's look at how they applied the RFID technology within the healthcare industry. Well, the first ones to use it were the pharmaceutical companies. These are the large companies that want to make sure that their drugs go exactly where they want it to go to. There is no theft concerning their drugs. And they made a pact also with the pharmacies to put RFID chips under the tops of medications, and in order to make sure that the medications go to the right people, they're able to monitor that and what's on the shelves. From there, hospitals use RFID chips and in order to track equipment and to make sure that, because we know that they have very expensive equipment in these hospitals, they have to make sure and know where everything is at all times. Hospitals also use RFID in wristbands. Of course, you know when you've gone to the hospital and you put a wristband on, well, these wristbands carry all of your personal information. And those who are there, the medical examiners, they can scan that band and be able to know all of your medical history, your medications, any type of allergies that you may have, anything of that sort. They'll be able to find all of that out by scanning your wristband. They've also implanted chips into people, ones who have dementia, who can wander off, and they've also implanted them in babies. They may have or they may not, but it is a strong possibility that they could, in order to prevent people from stealing babies, because that's something that they do. But those are just a few ways that the hospitals have embodied the use of RFID technology. And because this technology has gone so far, and because it has moved so swiftly, there are concerns that human implantation violates privacy laws. Because we really don't understand much about it, and we are able to sit back and see a lot of the things that it is able to do. First of all, it's identifying you, it's tracking your whereabouts, it's tracking everything that you buy or sell. This thing has a lot of power over us, and we tend to fear what we don't know a lot about. So there are legal issues concerning RFID technology, and they've compared having RFID chips under your skin, they've compared that to like carrying your social security number under your skin at all times. At that point, that would mean you would become a number. So the thing is that there is no government agency that controls RFID technology. The only entity that has some form of control over RFID technology is the FDA, because it is considered in its definition a medical device. And because of its use in the healthcare industry, it will be deemed a medical device because of a medical device because it will be under your skin. And so when there are lawmakers trying to make changes concerning these things, then there are a few things that they would need to consider when trying to make these laws that could potentially protect us from something that should be protecting us. They will first need to know what information is to be allowed on these RFID chips in order to let them know your identity. Who has the access to be able to look at these things, and who would be able to read this information with the scanner, and from who. Then also there are people out there who steal your information, so how would you even be able to trust those who are reading your information with these scanners and what they're able to do with this type of power? So also they need to know what type of punishment needs to set up for this. And they also need to know what type of government should be over this to enact these laws. There are a lot of uncertainties when it comes to RFID technology because it is moved so fast and it is going way beyond what we thought it could go to. Lawmakers need to enact or encompass laws that would encompass the government and private entities, because the Constitution only protects us from the government infringement upon our privacy laws, not private individuals. So there are also extra things that need to be considered when making these laws. So in conclusion, RFID technology has advanced so fast, the Supreme Court has even been able to add in to the Fourth Amendment terms such as GPS, RFID, or even cell site monitoring. It's just far surpassed that. And in this research, according to Smith, he's done surveys on this and asked people what they felt about the use of human implantation, and most of them felt that it would be infringement on their privacy, and most of them said that they wouldn't take it. So in this paper, I've uncovered the use of RFID technology. I've uncovered its origin. I've uncovered the uses in the healthcare industry and privacy laws concerning this matter. I hope you got something from this. Thank you very much.